A dog raised her head and begged, but everyone ignored her despite her miserable crying. This story speaks about a poor dog whose tummy was very big to the point people thought she was pregnant. A dog with a large tumor on her belly was found tied to a pole and abandoned in Malden's Tafton Park on a cold, wet night in December. Thanks to many members of the Malden community, the 2-year-old Mastiff, now named Big Mama, has a new lease on life and a literal weight off her chest. According to the Animal Rescue League of Boston, a Good Samaritan found the animal in mid-December and brought the dog, who was scared, cold, hungry, and wet, to the Malden Police Department. Seeing the massive mass growing off of her body, a Malden animal control officer took her to the Blue Pearl Vet Hospital in Charlestown for immediate veterinary care. The tumor, which weighed 13 pounds, was safely removed from Big Mama, and testing proved it to be benign. Big Mama then began her recovery process under the care of Bill Bowridge, owner of Big Daddy Doggy Daycare in Malden. Bowridge has raised roughly half of the $5,000 expense for removing the growth and spaying. The ARL said anyone interested in contributing to the remainder can contact Blue Pearl Vet Hospital's finance department at 617-284-9777. Malden Police and ARL law enforcement said this is being considered a case of animal neglect and abandonment and invited anyone with information on Big Mama's history to contact ARL law enforcement at 617-426-9170, extension 110, or Malden Police at 781-397-7171. ARL understands that an animal with a medical condition may be a frightening or costly situation. However, the organization reminds the public that abandoning an animal is never an option. The ARL said in a statement, "When an animal is left to fend for themselves, they become vulnerable to many dangers that may result in illness, injury, or even death. There are resources available to pet owners, and ARL recommends pet owners to reach out to their local animal control or animal welfare organization to see what assistance or options are available." Another hero back. Last week, while Southern California residents prepared for a historic hurricane, one lonely dog had nowhere to go. He paced around a Los Angeles neighborhood peering into each yard, hoping to find a family who'd left him behind. Neighbors noticed the large white dog sulking past their homes, but didn't know how best to help him. That's when they called Suzette Hall, founder of Logan's Legacy Dog Rescue. The neighbors were all feeding him, but no one wanted to let him in because he had so many ticks, Hall told the dodo. The poor baby just waited. Even if neighbors had opened up their homes to the pup, Hall's not sure he would have gone in. He was clearly fixated on finding his family, and he refused to leave the street without them. He would look under people's gates as if to say, "Are you my home?" Hall said. He just wanted to find his family. With the storm looming overhead, Hall drove to the Orange County neighborhood as quickly as possible. When she pulled up the sidewalk where the dog was lying, he lifted his head with a hopeful gaze towards the car. At first, he thought that his family had finally come back for him, but he quickly realized that Hall was there to save him, which filled him with mixed emotions. It was like he knew a rescuer was there, Hall said, but he was a little hesitant because he thought they would come back. "I think he thought that if he left with me, he would never see that family again." Hall understood just how devastated the dog, whom she later named Scooby, was, but she refused to leave without him. So she sat by his side and calmly talked to him until he felt comfortable enough to leave. "We had a long talk," Hall said. "I told him that his family wasn't coming back, but that he was safe with me." Eventually, Hall secured a leash around Scooby's neck and led him to her van. For the first time in days, Scooby could finally let his guard down, and he knew just how to celebrate. "He instantly fell asleep once I got him in my van," Hall said. "He's so sweet. Such a cuddle bug." Hall drove straight to Camino Pet Hospital, where a loving team of caregivers treated Scooby's illnesses. Before long, the loyal boy was feeling better than ever. "He literally just wiggles his tail now, rolls over and wants belly rubs," Hall said. Scooby's currently spending his days at the pet hospital while he searches for a forever home. For a dog as sweet as Scooby, Hall hopes that his happily ever after will come sooner rather than later. We're desperately looking for the forever family that he deserves, Hall said. He'll never be abandoned ever again.